Okay, so we are finally here. Okay, okay. Okay, we are live, everyone. This is second or third SGM for the year. This should be like the second SGM for the year. So let's see. Okay. So if you're here, you could just drop a comment. Let me know you're here. Start pool. No, we're gonna do question and answer. What city? What city are you joining from? So what city are you joining from? So that's done. So what city are you joining us from? If you just let me know very quickly. I'm seeing one person is already here. So if you're here, just kindly let me know you're here. You can start by just dropping your name. Okay. I think the link is on the group chat. So let's see. We're going to start once I have 2 people. I see Ogochukwu is here already. Who else are we waiting for? Who else are we waiting for? Kelechi Gwe. Kelechi, welcome. What city are you joining from? Nelson Benson. Benson has been the most consistent attendee to SGMs. Nelson, you need to send me a DM. You deserve a very special gift. Nelson was in December SGM. He was in January SGM. I think also he was in February SGM as well too. Nelson, I'm so proud of you. I'm happy to see you. Okay. Let's share the link. If you have people you'd want to invite, share the link, invite them. Let's get started. Today we are not going to take so much time, but we'd have to still do an amazing work here. So, principles of growth, guys, are you ready? Thank you. God bless you, Nelson. Really happy to always see you. Where is everyone coming from? Please, where are you and where are you coming from? Let's talk. I've just seen my boss, sir. I'm very, very happy to see you. Sir Harrison, as the CEO of Wrapped Creations, I'm honored to have you on this live, sir. Really honored. Really, really, really honored to have you on this live. Really honored to have you on this live. Okay, Kelechi is from Aja. Okay, Aja Lagos. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Today we are just going to go straight into what we have. No too much talk, primarily because SGMs are basically for growth. We remember some of us who had joined us. Silva, nice to have you here from Orca. Silva has been sending me. Silva, I saw your message, but I really am not sure I'm going to respond this weekend. Okay, so we used to call this meeting small group meetings, primarily because we were very interested in ensuring that everybody who attends this meeting are their lives are impacted. So because our primary focus was on impact, we intentionally were looking forward to doing very, very, very small, like meetings where we can talk to people, we can interact with them, we can ask them, what did you learn? How do you see this? How do you see that? That was the entire idea when we started as GMs in 2019. But over the years, we have evolved to understanding that it's about growth. And for us to achieve growth, it has to be specialized. That's why we changed SGM from small group meetings to specialized growth meetings. And so today, I'm going to be teaching you basically on the principles of growth. I had shared a post on Facebook some minutes ago, and I talked about the idea. Listen, guys, the idea that you can start life, you can start from anywhere, you can start small, you can start with nothing, and you can grow. Growth is an idea, and it's an idea that is not just furnished by your mind. Like when you think about yourself making 300,000 naira a month, and you think about the fact that you can be making 3 million, growth is not just an idea because you can think about it. It's something furnished into the very phenomenon of what we call nature. It's in every part of life. A child is born and the child grows. Somebody plants a seed and the seed grows. Do you understand? Like there are tens and hundreds of different will I say expressions of growth in this world. So growth is natural. Growth is something that applies to everything and almost everyone in life. Okay, so one of the things I need us to understand here is that growth can happen, and growth is supposed to happen. It's very natural. It's not weird, it's not off to grow. But one of the things some people don't understand is that you determine whether something grows or not. You determine something. Is it, if it's going to grow, it's going to be your choice. If it's not going to grow, it's going to be your choice. Every decision you make in life is a growth decision. Whether you decide you are going to read a book, or you decide you're going to listen to a course, or you decide you're going to, whatever you decide to do every day, it's a growth decision. Your discipline, your determination, every bit of your personal expression is really grounded on one principle, which is growth, the principle of growth, the entire idea that you can start small. You can start a business with 10,000 naira and it can become 1 million. You can start from a designer, a graphics designer, a freelancer, and grow to become like a creative director in a Fortune 100 company. You can, by Fortune 100, I mean 100 of the largest, biggest companies in the world. You see, the idea of growth is what every single one of us must furnish. You must think about growth as your reality. You must understand that you will not remain the same and forge towards growth. There are so many people who spend time thinking about their problems. They spend time thinking about their limitations. They spend time thinking about the things that are surrounding them, what's happening in Nigeria, what's not happening in Nigeria, what's happening in the UK, why it's Trump misbehaving and putting tariffs on Canada, on on Canada and different countries around the world, of course, including China, and you can walk through that. But it's a reason why a lot of people don't grow, because their mind is not focused on growth. They are not intentional about growth. The very first principle of growth is that you must think growth. You must be intentional about growth. A lot of people take this for granted. They are more invested in the idea. Listen, everybody, they are more invested in the idea that that they will survive than they are invested in the idea that they can grow. So somebody is having a financial challenge, and the person is, let's say the person is in debt of 100,000 naira. Now, such a person, literally all the person is thinking about is, how am I going to come out of this 100,000 naira debt? You see, that's what one person can think about. Do you understand? Somebody else can choose to think about, there's going to be a time where I'm going to be like Dangote. I'll be taking debt of billions of dollars from banks, and they'll be giving me cake and coming to tell me thank you for taking debt. You see, one person has a survival mindset, the other person has a growth mindset. I know some of you would say it's debt is debt. Sorry, leave not for Dangote. Dangote's debt has doubled his entire net worth over the last 6 years. How many of us saw the news? Dangote's net worth has doubled. So you need to think about growth in every situation. So many people remain small because all they think about is problem solving. Oh, I need to get out of this situation. Oh, I need to leave this place. Oh, I need to stop doing this. I need this. I don't need this. How do I do this? All those things are anti-growth. If you must be able to grow consistently, it must start from your thinking. I'll share a few stories for us here. There was a time I wanted to sign up for a skill training. I think it should be 2011 or 2012, I think. Yeah, just 2012. I wanted to sign up for a photography and video editing training. And so I had seen a flyer that one NGO was doing a skill training. I didn't have a source of income, so there was no way I was able to pay for the training. But something happened. I decided to think about it from the perspective of, you know what? I may not have any money now to pay for this training, but I'm very sure that I can actually be able to get money. And then let me give you guys a very simple. Please, everybody, stay with me. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. So, a friend of mine had invited me for a job interview months ago. I've forgotten about it. And he called me again. He was like, they said they really need you because I was good in typing and good in computers. And he had told the man that was in charge of the project, it was a River State Internal Revenue project. And he had told the man that there was this friend of his that's good in typing, that he wants me to come. And then the man had requested for me twice. I was busy doing church work, so I really wasn't interested. But I needed to pay 3,500 naira for a training. Please pay attention. And so I had gone for the interview where I was almost robbed. That's a different story altogether. I went for the interview and I couldn't see the man, so I went back home. I'm like, what kind of rubbish is that? It's me you want to waste my time. Me, I want to come and help you people. That's the way I saw it. I was like, I'm coming to help you guys. You guys are, you're not serious. And then the next thing he called me, he said the man said he should resume. I said, resume what? He said you should come, choose between morning duty and night duty. I said, please, I'll prefer night duty because what am I doing with my night? Sleeping. And so I chose to do night duty, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. And the first 1 week, I got my 3,500 because they paid us weekly. And then I went to pay for the training. So I will use a daytime to do the training. It was a photography training, Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Photoshop, and how to handle camera. And then I did it for 1 month, every day. I will sleep. I will come back by 6 a.m., sleep from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 hours. I will leave 9 a.m. for classes, sleep the remaining sleep in class. And then with my sleep eye, I'll be looking at the computer and look at all the things that they will do. Now, that mindset of that I can go from not being able to pay for a training to actually learning a skill is the same mindset that 3 years after that 2012, I started Septual Hub. And I made hundreds of thousands from camera and photography and video editing. You see, that 3-5 training is responsible for the entire thing I've done in my life today. Starting Septual Hub, starting skill to scale, that 3,500 naira training, it's the game changer. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: when it has to do with growth, all you need to do is to change one button, just press one thing, and your entire life can go on an automated growth response if you make the right decisions. So, the first principle of growth, I will mention again, the first principle of growth is that you must be intentional about every decision you make and make sure that most of the decisions you make align to where you are going to. This is very important. Don't think about survival. Don't think about survival. Stop thinking about survival. You can go beyond any degree of survival that you want, whether you are owing or you need money to do something. That's survival. You can do more than that. Think about growth. Think about changing level. Think about going from one level to another level. Think about doing things that you have not done before. This is the entire framework of what growth is about. Okay, so I'm not going to start by defining growth. Like I've already said here, growth is basically how every single one of us intentionally make decisions towards achieving or being better in life. So growth is about what decisions did I make yesterday, and how has that decision helped me today, and what decision am I going to make tomorrow, and how is it going to help me get better next tomorrow. Okay, so if you're listening to me, just put in the comment section, growth it's about decisions. Just drop it in the comment section. Growth is first about decisions. Growth is first about decisions. Just drop in the comment section. If you do not make the right decision, you will not be able to grow. Now, let me go to the main principles of growth that we are here for. The very first thing we need to understand about growth, I'm going to talk through the three major principles of growth. The first thing you need to understand about growth, growth starts with the one thing. That's basically what I call it, the one thing. If you do not have a good reason, you don't have a reason that's worth it. That's really nothing with respect to growth that you should be bothered about, really. Like, you need to have a good reason why you should grow. There needs to be a reason why you should grow. A lot of people are not intentional about the purpose that they have. What should make you grow? Why should you grow? So a lot of people are telling themselves, like, I want to be able to make a lot of money. I want to get a job. I want to learn a new skill. I want to be able to build relationship with this person. And you are wondering why you have intentions, but there are no actions. You have intentions, but there's nothing driving you to take action. You've had that intention for 3 years. Some of you decided 3 years ago you were going to learn a skill. These 3 years after, you still haven't learned it. Some people, they decide, oh, I want to be able to build this connection or relationship. I want to build or start this business. 3 years before they made the decision, 3 years after, they still haven't done anything about it. You see, this is the very reason why I really believe that people who make up their minds to fill their lives with purpose turn out to be way better than people who just do stuff. Ask yourself, why should I even grow? Why should I decide to get better skills? Why should I decide to get a better job? Why should I decide to earn better? If you have a very slow, very poor reason, you will not be able to put in the amount of work it takes to grow. Over the last few years of my life, I've spent countless hours working on projects. Oh my God. I've had long nights. I have had weeks that I slept at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., back to back. You see, what it takes to grow is so much. that if you don't have a good reason for it, you will not be able to put in the energy and the effort that you need to grow. Yes, you need to understand this one thing. Your life can be better if you decide that it would be better. But you see, if you don't have a good reason to decide that your life would be better, your life will not turn out to be better. This is a growth principle. This is a growth principle. Why should somebody spend 3 hours reading a book? Why should you spend 6 hours doing a research? Or if you're somebody like me, why should you spend 7 years trying to build a business? Do you understand? The biggest question when you talk about growth is why? Why? Some people don't have good reasons. You don't have what's the reason why you should grow? Why should you even grow? Why should you invest in yourself, your time, energy, effort? Why should you do that? So growth starts by understanding that I need to decide to grow. But for me to decide to grow, I need to first come up with a good decision why it's even worth it. Why is it even worth it? And so I've heard the story of an entrepreneur. He had started a business, and he started doing a business primarily because he was in together with his friends. They were all really very nice and invested young men, and some time ago they came across a particular opportunity to sell some products, and so they started selling those products. Now, one of them really enjoyed marketing and enjoyed talking to people, and he was like, you know what, I enjoy doing this, and I want to spend a lot of my time helping people give them products that will help them. Like, I enjoy selling to people, and so I want to spend my time getting different kind of products, and I want to be able to just help people do stuff. The other person, on the other hand, was making enough money from selling the one product that they were selling. Let me just assume, just for understanding's sake, they were selling a pen. And so all these guys were selling is a pen. The both of them were selling a pen, and they were making the same amount of money. One of them had a different purpose. He saw how much he enjoyed selling. He saw how much he enjoyed the transactions. And he was like, you know what? I'm not going to end up selling a pen. I want to sell more to people. I want to do way more. And then he went from selling a pen to selling mobile phones, from selling mobile phones to selling books, from selling books to selling different kind of things. All of a sudden, he grew to have chains of supermarkets across the entire nation. The other person still was making money selling pen. You see, you can start something with 1,000 people, but the person that will grow the most will be the person who has the most clear purpose. Clarity of purpose. The person whose purpose is clearest is the person who will grow the most. And so if your purpose is not very clear, I can guarantee you're going to have a very hard time growing. So one of the things you need to do, and I want everybody to write it in the comment section, clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose. This is the second point here. Clarity of purpose. It's not enough that you spend time just deciding, oh, I want to grow in this, I want to grow in that, I want to grow as regards this. You need to be very intentional and have clarity of purpose. 100% of the time, clarity of purpose is one thing that would help you be very determined when it has to do with growth. So whose journey was harder? The guy who was selling a pen, or the guy who was selling 5 or 10 more other things? It's the guy who was doing more. That's the guy's journey that was harder. It's easy to sell only one product. It's difficult to sell 100, talk more of 1,000, talk more of 100,000 products. Do you understand? And so you need to know this. You cannot pay the price to grow if you don't have a good and a clear reason why you should do that. You need to have clarity of purpose. Why am I going to go through all this stress? Why would I put myself in danger, my health in danger, again and again by working hard on things if it wouldn't be worth it for me? And so you need to know first, growth is a decision. Secondly, listen, guys, growth is a decision. Secondly, your decision to grow is subjected towards the clarity of your purpose. So this is the primary, what I call the first, the one thing. What's the one reason? You don't need two reasons, you don't need three reasons, just one reason. Why would you go through all the stress in your life to grow? I had realized I grew up, like some of you may know, I grew up around young people. I grew up in a teenage church. My entire life was just around the church. One of the reasons why I love God and I love love the Bible so much. I grew up in church. My entire journey in life started because of the church. And so I had experiences where I would see teenagers, young people, I mean brilliant young people, and I would see the way their entire life I would see them struggle. I would see them, some of them would sacrifice their, and I say this respectfully, some of the ladies will have to get into relationships just primarily because they want to survive. They want to, their parents can't take care of them. I grew up watching young people struggle. I grew up watching young people addicted and struggling to solve their addiction. I grew up watching young people not having to make decisions on their own because they didn't even know what their life was about. I grew up watching young people make decisions that endangered their life, and some of them destroyed their entire destiny. I grew up with that in mind. I saw people who I thought would have ended up better in reckless situations. Until today, sometimes it still shocks me. It still shocks me. And so, because I grew up experiencing that, I told myself that I was going to do whatever it takes to give the young people in my generation an option. I told myself. I told myself I was going to do whatever it takes to build businesses and platforms that will give young people options. At least let them know that they have an option to do in Yahoo. Let them know they have an option before they go to sleep with a guy. Let them know they have an option before they decide to lie or steal. Let them know they have options. That like the reason, the purpose. When we started SGMs 5 years ago, the entire idea, 6 years ago rather, the entire idea was to teach and train and impact people so that they can make better decisions. Better decisions in life, better decisions in their career, better decisions. That's the entire idea. One of our first topics when we did SGMs in 2019 was purpose, calling, and destiny. That was one of our first topics. And so, why am I saying this? Over the years, I've spent millions trying to impact the life of young people, trying to give them opportunities, trying to build a business, trying to teach, train. And the reason I've done this thing is because I have a very clear purpose. I will not rest until young people my generation have options. Until they have options, better options in life, better options in their career, better options financially, better options with respect to their spiritual growth. That's just the idea. If what your purpose is can be easily achieved, your growth journey will stop. Somebody who just wants to help their family, somebody listening to me here, your entire purpose for growth is I don't want to see my mother suffer, I don't want to see my father suffer, I don't want to see my siblings suffer, I just want all my family to be at rest. Do you know what's going to happen? You're going to achieve it. And what will happen after you achieve it? You're going to stop growing. I've seen a lot of people stop growing. They were some of them came like those of you that watch car racing, they accelerated into life. Some of them were very talented. They could speak, they could do things, they were executioners, they were good, they were strategic, they had great potential. Like some of them, they were storms to our environment. How many of you have met people like that? Over the years, they came to a point where they stopped growing. They became comfortable with their life. They became comfortable with the things around them. That's exactly what we are talking about. If you have a small purpose, your growth will be small. If you have a weak purpose, your growth will be weak. If you have a very dull purpose, your growth will be dull. Your purpose will directly impact the degree to which you will grow. So find and ask yourself, somebody write it. What is the one reason why I should grow? What's one reason why I should grow? What's the one reason why I should grow? Now, the second thing, oh, thank you, Jesus. The second thing that you need to be very clear about when it has to do with the principles of growth is the environment. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to say this well enough, very frankly. I don't know how to say this. I don't care what your purpose is. If you're in the wrong environment, you won't grow. You see, think about it this way. It doesn't matter what nutrients you give a plant. It needs exposure to sunlight. It just needs a good environment. Do you understand? A coconut tree cannot grow under water. Like, it wouldn't grow under the water. It wouldn't grow. Do you understand? It won't grow under water. Do you get the point? A mango tree will not grow under this. It won't grow. I don't know if you get the point. Like, an environment is undeniably one of the most reasons people don't grow. And I have to be careful the kind of stories I tell here. I love telling stories, but some years ago, I wanted to start a business. And I had ideas. And I wrote my business ideas in a Chelsea note. Chelsea. I can still remember it. I used to be a Chelsea fan, so I can still remember. It was a Chelsea notebook. I wrote all the ideas I had about the business I wanted to start and everything. I wrote it in the book. I told 3 sets of people. Listen, I won't mention their names, but I'm telling you what happened in my life. I told 3 people that I wanted to start a business, and I told them about my idea. I told very close friends of mine. Then I told them about it. I told one of my siblings about it. This is my idea. This is the kind of business I want to start. And I told a very precious friend of mine, like I said, I can't mention names. I told 3 people. The first set of people said, that was all. Good idea. That was all. Nothing, no contribution, nothing. The second set of persons I told me that if I like, I should go and do shoemaking. I should create Oh God. The second set of people that I told about my vision to start businesses said, don't worry, I will do agriculture. I will do shoemaking. The third person that I told about my business told me a story about her brother and how her brother sacrificed going to school to start a business and how his entire life has changed and how he has changed the entire family. That young lady is the reason I started my business. She didn't just tell me and encourage me. She created an environment for me to grow. See, I don't care how powerful your vision is, how amazing your ideas are. Listen carefully. If you're in the wrong environment, I can guarantee you will never grow. Some people ask, do you mean environment, the city I mean? No. And your environment your environment is made up of 3 things, 3 components. First, the people that closely influence you. Secondly, the activities that is induced in that environment consistently. That's the second thing. The third thing is the things that drive the people that influences you. I would say it again. There are 3 things that makes up a very good environment. The very first thing that makes up your environment are the people. the very identity and personality of the people around you. The second thing, what do they do in that environment? Do they smoke? Do they drink? Do they go for parties? Do they lie? Do they watch movies and gist and watch Big Brother Nigeria or Africa, whichever, and gossip? What do they do in that environment? What do they do in that environment? The third thing is what drives those people. Your environment is made up of these three components, and if you do not intentionally build your environment, you will not go. Some people, if I tell some people that I started my business in Anambra State, Oka, one of my aunts were in a conversation, and I was telling her when I was moving to Abuja, and she was like, she has waited for this kind of news for a very long time. She said she's just wondering how she's just wondering how I manage to relate with people in Oka with the way I think. As funny as it is, your environment has a very deep influence on your life. And if you're not intentional about your environment, you will not be able to grow. These are the three things I did when I started my journey. And please, everybody, pay attention because this would really help you. When I wanted to change my environment, I first of all told myself that I was going to create series of activities that will help me grow. Those activities were daring visions. I always have an idea of something that we want to do. Anybody who is around me knows this for sure. If you meet me, you're going to meet work. Like if you just say you make a mistake, like you want to meet me, you will see work. Do you understand? Like work lives around me. Like I breathe work. Work is the food I eat. And so I made up my mind I was going to create activities around me that were productive in every respect. I was either going to be working on a business or a program or a book or something. You cannot be around me and not have something to do. There just has to be something. Except maybe I don't like you. I will just keep you away from my work so that you wouldn't stop me. So, so the second thing I did was to pick specific people who had that kind of inclination. Listen carefully. I looked for people who could not necessarily influence me, but who I could influence. But they had proclivities to those things. And so I was able to find specific people who today I greatly celebrate, like Sokabalo Sin and Benny's and Blessing, Ogochuku, CJ, and just so many amazing people who I've met, Richard, of course, and Faith, and so many beautiful people I've met over the years. And so I was able to create an environment of people who I could influence and who had in their heart inclinations to the activities that I had created. And then I created an environment, businesses that drove everybody, drives them. I built my own ecosystem that allowed me grow. So I will be in the room in a village, technically if it is a village anyway. No offense, please. People who are in Oka, I mean no offense. So I would be in a village and yet my mind is thinking about the things that are happening in the UK and in the US and the economy of the world and global innovations and how I can be part of it. These are the kind of things that drove me, the activities. So make sure you have a good environment. Don't see, like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your vision is. It doesn't matter how good your ideas are. A wrong environment will kill you even before you ever have a chance of succeeding. Do you understand me? Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? A wrong environment would kill you before you ever have a chance of succeeding. Let me talk about the last principles of growth. I told myself I'm going to share just 3 principles of growth today because, like I said, the purpose of SGM is to help you assimilate things that you can practically use to grow. That's just the purpose of this entire thing. It's a specialized growth meeting, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed or overloaded that you cannot take action, okay? The last one, find the right things that you can build, habits. habits that would automatically make you grow. Now, this differs per person. For me, thinking is one very important thing. I love thinking. I love thinking. Don't disrupt my thinking process. You're going to be embarrassed. Like, I would barely be listening to what you're saying. I love thinking. I love thinking. I also love experiencing things virtually, content that are global inclined. If not that I'm not a language person, I probably would have been learning like 10 languages. That's how important being global is to me. And so I created habits around key activities that will automatically make me grow. Now, some people are like, how will I know the right habits or the right things? Anything that you can consistently do that will intentionally keep you passionate and, how would I put it? Passionate and biased. The word is biased. And the reason why I'm using the word biased is that you should have an emotional connection to growth. Do you understand? Like, growing should not just be something that you have to discipline yourself to do. It should be something that you have to discipline yourself not to do. I'll say it again. Growing shouldn't be something that you have to discipline yourself to do. It should be something that you have to be disciplining yourself not to do. So this is the idea. The idea is this. Imagine if you love reading and you are addicted to reading. And then reading is one of the right things that you have chosen would help you grow over the years. Do you now understand what I'm saying? Not everybody reading helps them to grow. Some people reading is pleasure for them. They will read 100, 200, 500 pages and they will not learn anything and they will not grow. So you have to find what makes you grow. What makes you grow? Every tree in a forest most of the times they are generic things that makes people grow, yes, but most trees have specific nutrients that are responsible for their growth. So you need to ask yourself, what are the things that are responsible for my growth? The last time you felt like you were growing, what were the things you were doing? Write them down. Some of us are not intentional about our lives to that extent. You can't sit down and write 3 things that you know, if I do these things every day, 1, I'm going to be very passionate and very intentional about growing. 2, I'm going to learn and get to grow. Do you understand? I will really, really get to grow. 3, I'm going to get results. You see, these are at least 3 things you must have that are the things that helps you grow. One of them should keep you passionate about growth. It could be watching your mentors or reading biographies, or for me, I love studying people's stories. Oh my God. The easiest book for me to read, the book I have read the fastest in my life was God's Generals. I read God's Generals in 4 days. One of the God's Generals, I read one of the God's Generals in 4 days. I love stories about people because it keeps me ambitious. It keeps me driven. I wake up in the morning and I want to do more. I read about Elon Musk. I read about Mark Zuckerberg. I read about Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Warren Buffett. I read about all these people because they inspire me. Find out what you can do and attach yourself to something that inspires you, that keeps you passionate. 2, attach yourself to something that generally makes you more valuable. It could be learning skills. It could be reading. For me, I prefer learning skills than reading. I would not lie. I love reading, but not as much as learning something new. Somebody should just tell, like, do you know what I was thinking about this morning, guys? So I told myself this morning, and I'm talking to you guys because, like, I'm gisting with you guys. I know you guys came for an SGM, but welcome to my family. Okay. So this morning I was thinking, I was like, Chigozie, you need to do something growth inclined. I said, yes. I know I'm doing a lot of things that are very, 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 very important. And of course, they are massive growth stuff. But, but I wanted to do something more deeper. I told myself, I'm going to create an AI chatbot. So I told myself I was going to use ChatGPT and literally create a very tiny AI bot. I don't care even if what the AI bot is doing is answering questions or asking people their age. I don't care. I just told myself in the month of April, I'm going to take up a small tech project to use AI and build a tech product. That's what I told myself. Do you know how excited I was? Like, it was like somebody just lit up a match in me and set up an entire bush on fire. I was so excited. My entire body I was just excited. I was like, yes, I can't wait. New projects, doing things drive my growth. Reading doesn't drive my growth. Watching webinars doesn't drive my growth. I'm not that kind of person. If I like, I should read 500 books. It doesn't imply I grow. I can read one book 1 year and I will make sure I execute on every chapter of that book. That's what makes me grow. Find out what makes you grow. Do you understand? Find out the one thing or the three things that makes you grow. The last one is the things that give you results. Three things should be. I'm going to give a recap. So those of you that are like, okay, I'm lost. This seems like a lot. Don't worry, I'll do a very brief recap. Meanwhile, if you have questions, I would love you to just I would love you to. Sorry, let's say ask your questions. Prepare your questions. Ask your questions now. Sorry, I just want to make sure this is here so you guys can just get ready and ask your questions. Okay. So find out one thing should keep you enthusiastic, should keep you passionate about growth. The second thing should literally make you get better and grow. Do you understand? Should literally make you get better and grow. The third thing, which is, in my opinion, the most important one, is something that gives you results. Something that gives you results. Something that gives you results. See, how would I put this? I don't know how you want to convince the whole world that you are growing and you have nothing to show for it. Do you understand? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Are you guys still with me? If you're with me, please drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know you're still with me. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? How do you want to convince people you're growing when you don't even have results? You don't have results. You have nothing to show for it. Why? How? So you need to ask yourself specific questions. What are the things I can do to get results? For me, my biggest results are building my businesses. Every single time my businesses grow dramatically, people see me and begin to think, this guy knows what he's doing. Even if I already know what I'm doing, if I'm not intentional about growing my business and I cannot show that result, people will not take me serious. Some people are probably on this life primarily because they have experienced or been around where they saw me deliver results one way or the other, and they are like, I need to listen to this guy. He knows what he's doing. Some people are here because of the results. See, listen, growth without results is just groaning. You're just making noise. Like, growth without results is just groanings. Like, I know some of you are Christians will be thinking groanings that cannot be altered. This one can be altered. Growth without results are just groanings. So at the end of the day, it is only what you have to show that will prove to people that you really have grown. It's only what you have to show. It's only what you have to show. So this is what I always ask myself. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, at the end of the month, where is the result seen? I was speaking to some of the guys on my team some months ago, and I was telling them, as much as I would appreciate commitment, loyalty, investment, time commitment, you see, nobody walks around looking at me and say, Chigozie, we want to see the time that your people are spending on working. Nobody cares. The only thing they care about is where are your results are. Are you making noise? What have you done? Do we know you? Do you understand what I'm talking about, guys? Like, you don't go around showing people, I went to the gym for 3 hours. I carried weight. Are you not seeing I carried weight, I'm sweating? People will just be laughing at you. They will be asking you, where are your muscles? Show us. Where are your muscles? We want to see your chest. Let me speak Igbo. Keapo bigi. People will say they want to see your chest. They want to see, where are the muscles? You cannot come and say with your slim body, I went to the gym for 3 hours. I invested time. I carried weight. I almost died. People will say, better don't die and live there. The only thing people care about, the only thing people care about are results. Okay? So, at this point in time, I'm going to do a recap. Please prepare your questions. I see one person already have a question. So if you have questions, please prepare your questions. I'm going to do a very quick recap on what we just discussed, and then I'm going to answer your questions, and then we're going to call it a night. Okay? Now, the first thing I said is that growth starts by a decision. You cannot grow without deciding you're going to grow or you want to grow. You cannot. You have to make up your mind that you will grow. You have to decide. You have to decide that you will grow. You have to make a decision that you will grow. If you're not making a decision, you're not. Just decide first. Growth starts with you telling yourself, Joy, it's time you make a decision that you're going to be better than you already are today. It starts with a decision. And then I told you that a decision wouldn't be possible if you don't have a purpose. So the very first principle of purpose is find your one reason. Why should you grow? An orange tree has a reason to grow, so that it's going to give us orange fruits and we are going to lick and we're going to be happy. Do you understand? A grape tree has a reason why it should grow, so that you're going to use the grapes and do wine, and people are going to do cheers during somebody's wedding. Do you understand? So you need to ask yourself, why should you even grow? What's your reason? And so I told you, growth starts with making a decision. Making a decision doesn't happen until what? You have a clear purpose. And then I said, after you've had a clear purpose, you need to build the right environment for growth. You need to build the right environment for growth. You need to build the right environment for growth. And then the third, I talked about environment, and I said there are 3 components of your environment. Please listen very carefully, everybody. There are 3 components of your environment: the people around you, the activities around your environment, and the last one, what drives everybody. If you're in an environment where everybody is driven by CGPA, everybody wants to get first class, everybody wants to get second class, everybody wants to do this. If that's the kind of environment you're going to be in, your growth is going to align more academically. Do you understand? You're going to have more academic growth than financial growth. If you're in an environment where everybody is driven by how much I make this month, how much you make next tomorrow, that's going to be the nature and the context of your environment. Do you understand? And then the third one, which I had mentioned very, very clearly. Okay, of course, I've talked about the people around you. You have to have people who their mind is growth inclined to. Then I mentioned secondly that those people being growth inclined is not enough. They have to be in an environment. What kind of environment should that be? First of all, we had talked about this way earlier, so I'm just doing a recap. To those of us that are just joining, you would have to pardon me. So we had talked about the first one, which is your one reason, the second one, which is the right environment, and your environment. Somebody's asking a question on environment. That's the reason why I'm recapping this. Your environment is made up of 3 things: the people in your environment, the activities around your environment. What is everybody doing? Are they watching football? What are they doing? What's everybody in your environment doing? And the last and the most important one, what drives everybody? Are everybody in the environment there because they want to eat? Are they there in the environment because they want to build relationship with each other or dance in the club? If you do not have people who are there for a good reason, you're in the wrong environment and you won't grow. If you want to grow financially, you have to be in an environment where everybody is driven by financial pursuits. If you want to grow in value as an individual, in influence, you have to be in an environment where everybody is driven by value. Most people who spent a lot of time with me over the last few months, one of the things that they understand is value. I'm not a money person, as much as I know I've been honored and privileged and blessed by God to make a lot of money now and still make billions and trillions of them in the future, in the nearest future. I am particularly really not a money person. I'm more of a value person. And so my environment is value driven. How much can you contribute? That's what everybody's pursuing. So anybody who wants to add value, who want to be more valuable, it's my kind of environment you want to enter. If you want to make a lot of money, you may want to find somebody else. Maybe all those communities where they do $100 challenge, $1 million challenge, all those kind of things will help you. So you need to ask yourself, what kind of growth do you want and what kind of environment are you in? Do you understand? And the last thing is find 3 things that you can do. 1, things that you can do to help you stay more passionate and more growth inclined, things that will keep inspiring you to pursue growth. 2, you need to find specific things. They may not necessarily inspire you to pursue growth, but they will actually help you grow. It could be reading, it could be taking courses, anything that helps you get better and grow in whatever light you want to grow. That's the second thing. The third thing, whatever gives you results. Whatever gives you results. Don't play with whatever gives you results, okay? So this is a recap of everything. I'll quickly answer questions, then we call it a night. Patrick asked a question, and he was like, my question is, when you are yet to get results, how do you stay motivated? It's a simple question. It's a very simple question. Staying motivated is different from results. Results shows that you're growing. You can do, remember what I said. I said you need to find 3 things. First thing you need to find is the thing that makes you motivated. Results don't, I don't know if there are some people that are motivated by results, that's fine. Results are not for motivational purposes. Results are proof that you've done the work. Results are not supposed to motivate you. If you're motivated by results, you have a very bad inclination. There's something wrong with your, and I say this respectfully, please, not to be offended, but imagine somebody who is motivated by how much he makes. 100K, 1 million, 2 million, you get. That kind of person doesn't have a skill. How do you think the person will be motivated to learn a skill when he doesn't have? Because learning a skill is hard. Then practicing the skill is harder. Then being able to monetize the skill is the hardest part of everything. Hardest. How will the person be motivated? If your results are primarily what motivates you, you have a wrong wiring in your system. You have a wrong wiring because you cannot be motivated. Do you get the point? Like, if you don't have results, so you cannot be motivated. You cannot be motivated. So please, if you're in that situation where your results is what motivates you, you need to find something else. So there's something else that motivates you, that could motivate you. Before I started getting results, what motivated me was the influence and the impact I was having in the life of other people. I wasn't having results, but I was helping other people get better. People were seeing things better because of me. People were understanding things better because of me. People were happy and fulfilled because they were associated or attached with some of the things I was doing. So I got fulfillment and motivation from that. I still have people till today who remind me, oh, Chigozie, you taught me something years ago. Oh, you did this years ago. Oh, this was very helpful to me years ago. I still have those conversations with people. I didn't have results then, but I was able to help. So let me ask you a question, Patrick. Are you adding value to somebody's life and the person truly appreciates it? Allow that to motivate you. That's result enough. That's results enough, okay? Then the second question rather, sorry. How do you change the wrong environment to the right one without changing the people? There's no way you can change the wrong environment to the right one without changing the people. Okay? Also media, there is no way. You can't put, like, let me be biblical here. You can't put a new wine into an old wine skin. And you can't put an old wine into a new wine skin. It doesn't happen. If you have a wrong environment, you have the wrong people, and you can't do otherwise. To change the environment, you have to change the people. I know something in your mind is, as I'm talking now, there's somebody that something in your mind is telling you, no, you can change the people. Chigozie, they have to be away. I'm laughing at you in Chinese. So I don't know what to tell you. You can't do that, okay? If you want to change your environment, you have to change the people around you. Simple and short. There's nothing else you can do. That's how it works. Okay? Change the people around you and you change your environment. Nelson Benson said, how does one change environment without offending those who may have known for a long while, who you may have known for a long while, but seem not to see or understand your vision? You have to offend them. You have wait. What do you think? What do you guys think growth is about? A very convenient way to succeed? I'm not talking about licking ice cream here. I'm not talking about how you can make food and eat and enjoy. I'm talking about how you can grow. It's hard. It's painful. You pay for it. What do you guys think we're talking about here? How to date a girl? No. We're talking about growth. It's hard. You will offend people. You will lose friends. You will be relevant or irrelevant in some respect. That is what it means to grow. Deal with it, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I'm surprised about these questions, but I understand you guys genuinely and that you're just asking this question. This is why you're not growing. You're paying attention to other people's thoughts and patterns, and you want to like everybody. Everybody should like you. You see, choose one. Do you want to entertain the people in your life, please them, keep them happy, and end up remaining the way you are? Or do you want to really grow and make a big difference in life? Choose one. Let me help you. Let me help you make a decision. This is what I told myself years ago when I was making these decisions. I had a lot of friends I left behind because I wanted to grow. Yes, I'm not proud of it. I do sometimes remember them and I feel hot in my heart that they are not close to me. But that's the truth. That's just what it is. But I used to tell myself this. I tell myself, if I succeed, if I grow, and I finally make these things happen, if I finally get this right and my vision is fulfilled, I can go back and help them. Do you understand? Do you get the point? So Nelson and awesome media, you guys need to understand this. You need to hurt people, you need to leave people. But that's the point. The point is that when you do, you create and you give yourself more chances of succeeding and growing. Okay? Um, online environment. Virtual online environment. There's a possibility of creating an environment virtually in which you grow. It's a bit difficult. The reason is because we are not in the metaverse. Physical human connections are still very significant. But here's one thing you need to know. Personal relationship with specific people can make up for the physical distance. I'll give you a practical example. If you know somebody who's growth driven and who has the right environment to help you grow, but the person is distant from you, you get building a personal relationship with the person and a personal relationship with the person and a personal connection as well with the person, conversing. If it's somebody who is your mate, like your level, talk to the person, gist the person, ask the person question, what's happening, look for a way to add value to the person. Do you understand? Look for a way to be friends with the person where you can talk, you can solve problems together. I have this friend of mine who found another friend to help her with accountability. The both of them are becoming good friends now because she helped the young lady get something. And the both of them now have it, and now they help each other. They hold themselves accountable. They help themselves to grow. Sometimes you need to bring people up so that you can create the right environment for yourself. That's what I did. I didn't really have friends who were at the same level with me that were as growth inclined as I was. Maybe not so many of them that I could build easy relationships with, but I did have a few of them I must acknowledge, and they were actually helpful to my entire growth over the years. So there are situations where you have people that are genuinely very helpful. They are close friends of yours. You build personalized relationship with them. There are situations where you have people, they are not very close to you, but you can mentor them. You raise them up to your level so that they can create your growth environment. That's what I did. So I didn't have people who were so many people who were at my level. So I used the people who were below me, not to say that they were lesser than me in any way. I was way older than them and way more experienced. That's what I mean by they were below. Technically, what I mean is that I was older in age and I had more experience in other things than they had. So I raised them, I befriended them, they became my friends. You get, some of them didn't know what I was doing, they didn't know that was how I was building my own growth environment. Some of them took it for granted. Yes, some of them took it for granted, some of them overshot their boundaries and a lot of other things, but that's okay. I grew and that's what matters. Okay, so if it's somebody that is higher than you and you want to tap into the person's growth environment, serve the person. Just carry half of your life and give the person, and just look for a way. Be intentional about serving and helping the person and being a part of what the person is doing or whatever the person is doing, and put effort. Like, the person should know you're putting effort. If they don't notice you, you're not doing anything yet. Okay, so I don't think there's any question. If you have a question, you can drop it here on the comment section. I'm going to check the comment section after the video goes live, so I will still be able to answer your question. Just in case you're watching the replay and you have questions, feel free to ask your question. I will definitely still be here to answer your questions. Once again, I want to thank you guys for showing up. Nelson, Kelechi, Chijoke, a lot of you guys, thank you so much for showing up. Now I need one favor from you guys. I want you guys to tell me genuinely how much impact the session have made in your life in the comment section. You write here in the comment section. Don't leave the video, just write. I don't want you to type. I'm seeing Nelson say, really insightful sessions. God bless you. No, Nelson, I need you to give me details. What kind of impact has this made in your life? What do you like about this? What mindset did it change? And just talk me through how much impact this has made. I want to have these as testimonials that will be very, very, very helpful. Very helpful over time to us as we go ahead with SGM. So once again, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm really blessed to have seen you guys here. Mr. Harrison, my brother, thank you so much. It was really nice seeing you. It's been long we spoke. I will try to give you a call soon. Benedicta, thank you too. Kelechi, thank you so much. Nelson Benson, you deserve an award. Send me a DM. I'm going to look for something to give you. You deserve something. Nelson, you deserve something. I'm going to look for something to give you. Nelson have showed up straight up for SGMs. Straight up for SGMs. That's really good. Thank you so much, Nelson. And I look forward to hearing more from you guys next month at SGM. Please do well to share the link to this video to your friends to watch, especially those ones that have wrong environment, they have wrong influences to you. Send it to them so they will start creating right influences. Okay, look forward to hearing more from you, and we'll see you next week, next month, SGM. Cheers, and have an amazing night rest.